So, hi everyone. Hi again. I'm Alex Stoicescu. I work for Request Network. I handle community and communication matters. This is the first space that we have together with one of our ecosystem builders, one of our valued partners. It's Joba Network. If you haven't heard about Joba so far, they are a decentralized talent marketplace. I like to imagine them as a future of work platform. And we will discuss in this sort of like panel with two people the ways in which Joba Network uses Request Network, obviously. So some of us here want to know how is Request Network being used in this kind of a platform. And we'll also discuss what the future holds for this platform, for Joba, how it can help you as a freelancer or as a person with irregular income, or even how it can help your business, because you as a business, maybe you need employees and you want to pay them through crypto and so on and so forth. This will be like a 30 minutes talk. The questions, if you have any questions, I strongly suggest that you go to our Discord. It's discord.com/requestnetwork. There's a Joba channel there where you can ask any kind of questions. If there's no time to answer them here, then Marisa and her team will answer there on our Discord. You can also join their socials, their Discord as well, or their Telegram channel. Marisa will plug her socials at the end. And that's about it for the format. Let's get this started and find out, who Marisa is and how did she get into Joba.
Yeah, thank you all for joining and nice to meet you all. My name is Marisa. I'm the founder, CEO of Joba. I guess just to share a little bit of our story of how we got started. I myself kind of have been a global citizen ever since I've been growing up, traveling between Japan and US. I instantly got into Bitcoin in the early days of 2016 because I thought of it as like a global currency that you could use to transact. As I was in the space working for a cryptocurrency exchange, then began advising projects, I started working with lots of different companies. And in the process, I was hiring and verifying a lot of people. I found that the process was super manual. I found that there was a lot of spam. There was a lot of difficulty in finding people. But I also found a lot of really good people in places that I didn't expect. So the original idea of Joba was to basically create a way to easily be discoverable for those people that are not and help them earn their credentials and reputation. And then the final part of Joba that we're trying to do is using the invoices and payment history, income information of what you earn to be able to get a credit line or be able to get a loan based on your overall global income, your global reputation. So thank you for having me.
Welcome. So at this point, I know that there's a lot of memes around this particular subject, as there's lots of projects that get born out of a real world need, and people usually ask, "What is the problem that you solve?" And they talk about the project, and they look in their white paper. So this is actually one of those. Joba is one of the few projects that was actually born from. Was it a personal need or was it a business need again?
Yeah, I think it was both a personal and business need, right? It was a problem that we identified in the overall crypto industry, in terms of hiring, verifying, but then also myself, being that I moved around and had work experience in like Japan, Singapore, Thailand, when it came time to getting a housing loan, I found it really difficult to be able to show, my stable coins, my fiat. So I started talking to some friends and a lot of friends who've kind of grown up in the crypto space, over the past 10 years have kind of shared similar stories. And not just crypto people, but also a lot of digital nomads lack access to credit. So then we decided to embark on the journey.
Gotcha. So when you say digital nomads, I keep thinking the phrase that I got from you, irregular income people.
Yeah.
How is Joba is when you built Joba, when you started building Joba together with Toby, right? Your co-founder and CTO. When you
Mhm.
guys started building Joba, was it just for regular income people? Do you want to turn yourself into some sort of LinkedIn platform?
Yeah, of course. I think that we start with like people with irregular income, but the reality is with like AIs and also, the current like employment market and incoming recession, we think that more people are going to be wanting to earn side hustles and earn more miscellaneous income. So we think that's going to become a lot more normalized. And that's why we decided to create a platform for more short-term contracts for side hustles, irregular income.
So some of the real world issues that you mentioned,
Yeah.
one of them was reputation, right?
Yeah.
And this is a super hot topic, and I expect it to be one of the important things in the next bull run, one of the main narratives. And I'm curious, how do you plan to develop a reputation layer with Joba? Is it going to be with SBTs, with soulbound tokens, or anything
Yeah.
like that? Or how will you do that?
Yeah, definitely. So we plan to use both soulbound token technology and zero knowledge ZK proof technology. In terms of the soulbound tokens, we plan to issue soulbound tokens based on your work experience. So, say that, Request Network pays Joba. This is one work experience. Then we're able to mint a soulbound token that they work together. And also soulbound tokens to basically confirm like referrals to the system. And then another part with zero knowledge proofs, we're seeing a lot of different developments with like proof of humanity or being able to confirm KYC information on chain using zero knowledge proofs. So we hope to use like those two things to start to develop the reputation of someone using both, where they worked, who referred them, how many contracts they completed, their income, and those kinds of metrics to create the reputation.
Awesome. This reputation layer, this is something that we're also very keen on at Request Network, and we think it can unlock a lot of use cases, a lot of potential for people that work online and have been working online for a longer time of period. Um, what do you think about this reputation being the cornerstone for uncollateralized loans? So you mentioned people getting lines of credit, right? We're also working towards that. We're trying to make a bridge between Joba and loaners and borrowers from our ecosystem. But how do you imagine a world or an industry, a Web3 industry, where you can get an uncollateralized loan simply by showing somebody that you have a good reputation, that you pay on time, that you do your job on time? How do you imagine that?
Yeah, I mean, given that we're like solely focused on more or less the work identity of, how often did they get paid by working? Did they do a good job, right? We can start to
Mhm.
understand, okay, this person's reputation, in 1 month they're able to complete, 3 projects, or maybe in 1 month they're only able to complete one project with X amount of money. So we think that we'll have good indicators of their incoming cash flows, right? Using the invoices at request. So we have like previous history of the invoices, and we can use that information and reputation to be able to offer the uncollateralized loans by creating a score based on those metrics.
Super excited about reputation. And just as a side note, I'm not sure if there's any Star Trek fans here, but in Star Trek, the whole economy, if you watch any episodes of Star Trek, you may have noticed that there's never any discussion about money or financial means, and it's always a discussion of merit and reputation. So the entire economy in Star Trek is based on merit, and I love that. I absolutely love that, and I truly think that this is the future. If the future is, around the corner or not, that's up to us, right?
Totally, totally.
Yeah.
No, we have to create the future ourselves.
Exactly, exactly. Moving on, what is more important for Joba? Is it to help people with irregular income access financial services, or is it to help companies find talent with verified skills and verified work experience? Which would you say
Um,
is more important?
Yeah, I mean, I think both are equally important. I would say that, we want to focus more on the worker because I think that's the bigger problem at hand. There's lots of ways to right now, like, find out about different identities. I think it's harder to find niches, but I think the greater problem here is that more people are wanting to be their own boss. More people want to have like a flexible lifestyle, be able to work on their own terms, but there's not infrastructure that supports them to be able to work this flexible way. So, at Joba, we're trying to basically create this infra for people to work flexibly, work on contracts because, and I think that's more important than probably verifying, but they're both pretty important.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Um, I've been in this industry for a couple of years, and just from this year as a professional, not as a degen, let's say it. Um, I haven't seen these many projects dealing with reputation and helping unbanked people in quite a while. Do you think this may be a catalyst for a future bull run?
I definitely think so. I believe that, I tweeted about this like a couple weeks ago, but, centralized exchanges were able to, introduce cryptocurrency and payments to people, like 150 million people around the world, right? But I believe like the next, value creation beyond currency is actually via like human capital and people working together collaboratively, because there's been no other time in the world where we're able to, more people have technology at their fingertips, more people have access to like be able to learn new skills on the internet, right?
Yeah.
And we're able to connect. With these people and we're able to work with them now. But so I do believe that, the first iteration of crypto was like focused on the currency and mediums of exchange. But the next, big thing to unlock is definitely bringing some unbanked people or bringing people from countries that have volatile currencies to our online, economy.
I totally get it. One of my favorite things to mention to people when talking about unbanked or irregular income people is that even in the most isolated regions of the world where people don't have access to any kind of financial service, you'll still find folks with smartphones with access to the internet, right? So sometimes all you need is just a smartphone and access to the internet, or even just a Chromebook, a cheap laptop, a tablet, and that's about it in terms of hardware, so that you can get those financial services and get access to those products.
Hmm.
And those are the people that not only
I
you
was
from what you're
about
saying, but also Request
to
to plug
interrupt.
Request Network and how it all ties in with us. Mainly because I guess people are curious what a relationship is, why did you get a grant, and how it all ties to, right? So our objective at Request Network is obviously to generate as many transactions as possible so as to get a higher burn rate. Token is deflationary. The way to burn it is by having lots of transactions, right? So we're working towards that. Obviously, we're also working towards an inclusive financial system and a new iteration of PayPal, a new PayPal, like a new X. And the ways that we envision our collaboration with Joba and the reasons why we gave the grant is that a decentralized talent marketplace together with our invoicing system opens up a whole lot of use cases. Any use case that you can imagine that you would get from a bank, any kind of activity that you get by going to a bank with a bunch of papers and your ID and everything, any kind of financial service and product, you can do that through Request Network, right? And with Joba, we will be offering, or we're already offering invoicing for freelancers, right? Which means that you will have a financial history on chain. And like Marisa said, this will allow you to get loans. And unlike the classic traditional banks, you won't have to stay in a queue. You won't have to spend hours in front of a bank teller. You won't have to dig for your papers from, years ago and so on and so forth. Other than that, we also provide Joba with a secure and transparent way to handle payments, even if it's B2C or B2B payments. As a reminder, Request Network has never been hacked in 6 years of activity now. We will also provide together for those people with regular income or the unbanked, we'll provide them a simplified and accessible experience, and you can find that yourself by just going to Joba and signing up. It doesn't cost you anything other than like 1 minute or 2 minutes and a wallet address. And last but not least, this is also a very good way for Joba to participate in adding data to the largest decentralized invoice database in the world. Thanks to Request Finance and our other builders, we do have at Request what we like to call the largest decentralized invoice database. And again, that is financial history of people, financial history that people will be able to share with builders and so on. And just having that history on chain means so much, and I'm really I'm shocked that there's not that many people that realize the potential of having this history, which is also, again, it's encrypted, it's secure, like it's not like somebody can see how much you earn and stuff like that. But it gives so much potential, and I'm really excited about that. Moving on from the request network plug, I would like to know if I sign up, because I already told people like go try Joba, see how it is, see how simple it is to use. If I sign up right now, what kind of features do I have access to? What's in the platform right now working?
Yeah, so as of today, we have a few features available. One is like jobs. So if you're interested in like, looking for work, there's a couple jobs on the platform, but more importantly, we're looking for companies to work with that want to post some jobs. And these don't have to be full-time jobs, right? They can just be simple tasks or things that need to get done. We really want to just push for, getting things done in the space, no matter what it is, throwing an event or whether it is working on a specific
Hmm.
piece of work. So the job section, we have invoices obviously covered from Request Network, and it plugs into our contracts inside of Joba. So you have simple contracts that you make with a counterparty with another wallet address, and you can create invoices on the back of that. And then finally, we have like a discover page where you can find colleagues to work with, or if you're looking to verify some talent, you can have a profile. So, I recommend everyone to start by making their profile. And we just integrated with a Telegram bot, so you're able to get real-time updates on your application or your profile. If people have favorited or rejected you, you're able to get instant notifications via Telegram.
That's really cool with the notifications. We've yet to open up a new job, but the first position that we open, the first job that we'll have available, we will definitely post it on Joba and see how that goes, and then see if the people who apply can also benefit as one of the first users of this ecosystem that we're creating, can also benefit from other services in our ecosystem. And speaking of, future things, what can you tell us about the future of Joba? What are some features that you want to add, that you're adding, like perhaps maybe even next week? What can you tell us about the future of Joba?
Yeah, I mean, right now, we're making a lot of improvements on the UI UX, but what I can say is that we have like real life partnerships coming in addition to loans. So one thing that I think is really important for global citizens is actually being able to get residency or visas in other countries. So we actually built a partnership with the city of Kyoto in Japan. So they're able to fast track you into getting a visa to work and live in Japan. And we're also aiming to reach out to some other emerging markets that we have connections to, such as Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, and Serbia, to be some of our other early adopter countries to accept the Joba reputation. We want to bring more transparency and bring more, governments to also be aware of this current, shift of basically digital identity. And we want us to be their partner in terms of, verifying and, knowing the reputation of those to be accepted into their countries. So,
I, I actually think that this might be one of the most important partnerships in the history of blockchain, of crypto. Like you're literally partnering up with governments
yeah,
to facilitate people, work migrating, right? Work migration, basically, right?
exactly. Yeah, I think that's one of the
Okay, this
best
is
use cases, right, for people that are coming online to be able to, if they have a good reputation, have access to work in the places that they want to. Yeah,
that's so true. I'm quite fortunate as I am a EU citizen and living in Berlin, which is a super multiculti, as we call it here, very multicultural space. But some of my colleagues from my previous workplaces, they were from, let's say, Brazil, a lot of them, and they always had issues with visas. Nobody was helping them,
yeah,
and some of them even had to go back to Brazil because of this, especially as German bureaucracy is quite slow. But for the new age worker, for the digital nomads, for the regular income people that live on the internet, I honestly think this is like amazing news that You could literally go to a platform, find jobs, and then also get assistance with the visas
Exactly.
without, like paying an arm and a leg.
Exactly. And we want people to, we want these governments to collaborate with us and work with us because they also want to know if this person is going to be a good taxpayer or is this person have regular income? And also, we don't want to also constrain people to all the rules and laws, right, that might restrict them to work for one company. We really want to unlock the ability for people to have flexibility. So, yeah, we're
Hmm.
trying to be the leader on that in terms of starting to fuel the discussion with these digital nomad regulators.
So what I'm understanding is that you're while building a reputation layer,
Yes,
governments or governmental entities will also be able to
access the
give out these
reputation.
visas, right? And based also on reputation that you have.
Correct, correct. Yeah.
That's really cool. I cannot wait for this. It's like the future is now. Like I'm telling you, I've had colleagues that literally had to move back to their place, to their home country, which is maybe not in a great condition right now because of this thing. So hearing this like literally makes my day better.
For sure.
Moving on, once let's imagine we're in the future. Joba is fully fleshed out. You got partnerships, you got all the features. Why would people, choose Joba instead of, let's say, LinkedIn?
Yeah, I mean, I think like what I just shared, right? I think those kinds of like real world um application that we're trying to, share, which is like, using immutable credentials, you own and claim your identity, your work identity, and going into those visa processing, that's definitely our differentiator. And I think, LinkedIn is ripe for change and it doesn't accommodate necessarily people who work for multiple places. It's very much designed for full-time staff. It's not designed for people who are YouTube influencers or people who are content creators on the internet. So, we're trying to create a safe place for, people of all kinds of income that they generate on the internet to have a place to come and showcase their skill set and be recognized for it.
Is it safe to assume that Joba will not go down the let's say the Facebook route that LinkedIn went, and now the feed is full of cats and dogs and
No,
memes and stuff
no,
like that?
no, we don't intend to really make it much of a social feed. As I mentioned, we have like the notifications with the Telegram bot. I think the extent of it is just like come here. It's more an administrative tool that you can, use for work. It's not necessarily planning to be a social platform for now.
And and the target audience is completely different as well, right?
Yeah.
So in the end, Joba will address to everybody, but initially and for example, right now, it's mostly for freelancers and people with a regular income or the unbanked, right?
Correct, correct.
Awesome. Since we're getting towards the end of this, is there anything else that you would like to add, or maybe a call to action? You want to plug your socials? Any incentives to join Joba right now?
Um, of course, definitely I'd recommend everyone to, stay posted on Twitter and join our Telegram groups where we share some different alpha and new releases. And, if you're interested in trying out Joba, we have some incentives for those who want to give product feedback and be our beta testers. So please reach out.
Yeah, we will definitely post the next job opening that we have for Request Nature. We'll definitely use Joba for it
Thank you.
and see how that goes for the applicants. Okay, cool. My dog is literally like peeing on himself. He's crying so bad. Oh God, dude. I need to go out. Thank you everybody for joining us today. Apologies for the interruption in the space. I do believe that Discord may be a better environment, so let's see how we go about it for the next space. What do you do about the next space? I will stitch the two spaces together and post something on YouTube or here. Find a way to have a complete recording instead of like two separate recordings. Maybe edit the longer intro while Marisa was finding a cable for her phone and everything else. And in the end, I would just like to remind everybody that you could also build the next whatever marketplace or whatever project that you have. If you have a vision, if you want to help people, we have a grants program, and we will gladly discuss any kind of idea that you have that involves request network and that also involves irregular income and the unbanked or any kind of alternative to the current broken financial system. So thank you, everybody. And just drop by our Discord if you have any kind of questions. I'm there like 24/7 and eager to talk to basically anybody.
Yeah. Thank you so much, y'all.
Thank you.